Hello everyone, this is honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. If you're new here, hi, welcome in. If you are a returning viewer, it's so good to see you and I hope you've been well since the last time. So today I am building an apartment building in the world of Mount Komorebi, which is this Japanese inspired world that came with the Snowy Escape expansion pack. And the reason I am building this today is because, and you probably already know, but The Sims recently announced their newest expansion pack called The Sims 4 for rent. And I just have to say, I am so excited. I can't stop thinking about it. I want to have it now, play it now. And the reason is because we are finally going to be making our own functional apartments, townhouses, duplexes, you name it, and be able to either be a property owner or a tenant and have multiple families or households living on one lot but in different units. So it's going to be all about property management and residential rentals, either good ones or bad ones, it's up to you. And I'm also just so curious about the possibilities we're going to have with this new pack. So these apartments are going to be different from the City Living San Moschino apartments because there will be literally no restrictions, or very minimal at least, in comparison to the City Living ones. So we can finally choose our own shapes, choose our own doors and windows, and also choose our own wall height. And it's basically all the things that have made apartment renovating kind of challenging for me and probably for some of you as well. Don't get me wrong, I love the apartments in San Moschino, but it's just too restrictive. And I've just been waiting for a pack like this forever. I just want to make apartments, no restrictions. And since I'm so excited, I just couldn't resist making apartments. So buckle up, because today's video is going to be a longer one. It's going to be just under 30 minutes long, and I can't wait to show you all this modern apartment building I've made, talk about all the different Sims I would imagine living here, and also talk about the new expansion pack coming out December 7th with you all. As you can see, we have started on the exterior of the apartment building. So I had a vision of how I wanted the shape of the build to be, more like a typical low-rise apartment building with a modern touch. So we're gonna have some nice brown woods and solar panels, but the landscaping and environment surrounding it though, I have to admit I struggled a bit in the beginning. As you saw earlier, we had lots of parking spaces here, but now we've added more greenery, getting rid of some of that concrete, and just make it stand more in style with the environment and the world of Mount Komorebi. So this world is probably the closest to the new world of Tomorang that we currently have in game, as Mount Komorebi is Japanese inspired, meanwhile Tomorang, the new world coming with for rent, is inspired by Southeast Asian countries. And I think it's so cool that we're gonna get another Asian inspired world and also be getting more cultural representation in the game. From what I saw in the trailer, the new world looks amazing. It has a bit more, tropical feel to it, but I do think there will also be some sort of city life, but also some sandy beaches from what we could see. So I spotted a lot of greenery and trees that we already have in game from Island Living and Sulani. So yeah, I think the new world also does resemble Sulani in that regard of being more tropical. Meanwhile, Mount Komorebi has this neighborhood with only snow. So Tomorang seems like a mix of Sulani and Mount Komorebi with a hint of San Moschino, I think. I really enjoyed working on the front of the building here, even though a bit of a struggle in the beginning, just adding those little plots of dirt here and there along with all the grass and plants to make it look more lively. I also found this live edit tower looking stone statue from Snowy Escape, and I just had to include it, so you will find it in the front here. I've also added some of the other outdoors details already, like the separate mailboxes that each of the units will have, some corkboard with important information for the tenants, plus the garbage bins and recycling bins, because we don't want anyone to litter around this nice building. That's also nestled in between all these pretty and more traditional Japanese houses in the town square here. For the new pack, however, this seems like there will come a new mailbox item with with many mailboxes in one item. So more like a typical apartment mailbox maybe. And I guess that's probably going to be one of the required items to build a residential rental maybe. along with the water heater we saw in the trailer and other electrical units as well, which needs to be tended by the property owner, otherwise it will break. So we can only wait and see like what are the requirements to make a rental. For this one, I only added a few pipes and electrical boxes on the exterior, even though it was tempting to add a basement with these things in them for when the new pack comes out, and you can actually turn this into a functional residential rental lot. Which also brings me over to the topic of how many apartments or rental units we can have on one lot. Like, will it be decided by the amount of apartment units, or will it be decided by the amount of Sims that can stay on the lot? I can't remember for sure what's the maximum of Sims that can be on one lot currently, but I do hope it will be at least 4 units on one lot. And if there will be possible to do more, then I will gladly accept it as well. For this apartment building though, I am making 6 units, mostly for single Sims or 2 Sims in 1 unit. And you can already see that I've started working on the first one here, and all the units will be very different, I'd say, and I had so much fun decorating and thinking of each of their occupations and interests. I also did some of the decorating live on Twitch as well, so I got some help from the people in the chat. So if you ever want to hang out in real time, you can always find me there 3 to 4 days a week. My username is honeymaysims there as well. So this apartment I imagine would be for a chef or a food-loving sim, so they're going to be getting their very own and rather big kitchen, I'd say, for the size of this apartment, just so they have enough space to experiment and do their cooking. I went for a very dark and brown inspired palette for this one, which are colors I like a lot, especially for a modern interior. The kitchen got lots of clutter on these open shelves over the windows, which are also from Snowy Escape, and I love that these look like you can slide the window open to the sides, you can get like fresh air in while you're cooking, something like that. And I do think they're perfect for a kitchen for that reason. The sim living here will also be getting this modern pizza oven from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack, which I absolutely love, and the kitchen set is also from that pack. So very modern and totally my kind of style. I could only fit in a single dining table here, as I do imagine a single sim living here, and if they want to have guests over, well, then they probably have to eat on the couch, which I think the Sims do naturally anyway, so not a big problem, I think. I used some of the book Nook kit in the living room here. The couch is from there, the custom TV stand bookshelf is from that kit too. So yeah, I definitely use a lot of items from that kit now that I think about it. The bedroom is very simple but stylish. I put a double bed against the wall here, but don't worry, 2 Sims can still sleep in it. They just have to scoot over. We do have a dresser, small desk and laptop, cozy rug, and a wine painting from Dine that I do rotate with tool mod. Otherwise it would look too long vertically over the head of the bed here. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look that bad rotated. I'm not going to show all the bathrooms I make in the apartments because, I don't know, they're not the most interesting rooms to watch in the speed build, at least not if they're very simple like the ones I do here, but you will see a few ones at least. We're moving into the second apartment, and this is going to be for either a single elderly sim or an elderly couple, so I wanted to make this look more traditional Mount Komorebi, so I'm using a lot of the items coming with the Snowy Escape pack. I haven't used a lot of these items in forever, so it felt like a breath of fresh air putting together this apartment. We've got some soft green walls, dark wood flooring, and a cozy open kitchen living room concept. So we use the open kitchen counters here, and I do try to clutter up the open spots in them, just not too much. Also, something I realized once again upon making this kitchen is that we don't have any matching kitchen cabinets to these counters. So I just had to wing it and use some of the Jungle Adventures ones because surprisingly their wood tones matched perfectly. I really wanted to have the table with a heater and blanket on the floor here. It's called a kotatsu, I think. So it just looks so comfy, and I do think the Sims living here would be all about that comfy living. They also get this big cabinet with lots of boxes containing tea, so naturally I had to include a tea brewer as well and a hot pot on the dining table. Which does remind me, once again, we will be getting new kitchen appliances in the For Rent pack. So we'll be getting rice cookers, which I don't think we've ever had in any installation of The Sims before. And we'll also be getting another tea, kettle, or drink brewing appliance from the Luxe bit, plus lots of new dishes from Southeast Asian countries. I just love these new kitchen appliances that we've been getting lately. It adds that touch of realism that I love. The bedroom in this unit will be getting one of my favorite beds in all of Sims 4, which is the Seasons bed, here in a black or I think dark blue and purple swatch, I'm not entirely sure. But they will be getting lots of wardrobe space with a few clutter items, laundry basket, flowers, books, and so on. And I'll also be putting an end table with a few knickknacks underneath the window series, with just like storage box for jewelry or something similar, perfume. Also this nostalgic telephone from the Basement Treasures kit, which I thought the elderly Sim would have kept for many, many years and just never gotten rid of. The next apartment is going to be very fancy looking, as we include lots of the modern Luxe kit items. It will be very creamy and brown with hint of gold, and I do imagine this apartment would be for a Sim who's into wellness and staying healthy. Maybe they're into some of the adventurous sports you can find in Mount Komorebi as well, like skiing or snowboarding. So I would imagine the Sim living here would either be a social media person or maybe a celebrity of some sorts. And I actually rarely go to this world, but recently I've done some gameplay here because I do have a legacy gameplay save file that I play over on Twitch, and I realized how much I like Mount Komorebi and the Snowy Escape pack in general. You got the adventurous activities, you got the hot springs, festivals, it's all just so cozy. And it also first included the option to rent, like in any other residential world, so I like that as well. But for this Sim, I am doing a Dream Home Decorator plus a Home Chef Hustle Kitchen. These two packs work really well together. And for the kitchen cabinets, I mixed a regular cabinet with two of the box shelves from Dream Home Decorator just to mix it up a bit. So I do think that's a cool idea as well if you want to, mix it up. I have the space to do a peninsula, I think it's called, like the half kitchen island here. This Sim is so fancy they have a marble end table just beneath the hanging TV here, which is the TV disguised as a painting from the modern Luxe kit. This kit is also one of my favorites. It's just got all the fancy items. I love the photos, curtains, clutter items, and deco pillows that you can raise up into any couch to make it stylish, like I do here. In the open corner in the living room, I decided to put a desk with a computer, so this is definitely the area where the Sim works on their social media. The bedroom continues the same palette as the previous room. We've got lots of golden details in here. The bed is from Modern Luxe as well, and we've got the coziest looking for rug sized up from City Living. The rug is definitely one of the items I always have to size up, otherwise it looks so tiny. The vanity is going in here. I added a suitcase because I feel like they would go traveling often, going on trips, taking photos, posting them to their social media. And of course, the workout equipment and yoga decorations from Everyday Clutter are added in here. I couldn't find a very good spot for the actual yoga mat, so in the end, I just placed it in the kitchen. Because what's better than doing some yoga in the kitchen? It can of course be moved to a more open spot, and maybe they do yoga outside on the lot, who knows. We're on to the next apartment, and this one is quite light in comparison to the rest. This unit is for a single mom who was a teacher, I thought, and her infant child. So to kind of reflect the presence of a child here and just a person who works with kids in general, I went for a lighter wood and some more soft colors like blue, yellow, and lavender. I've already finished up the bathroom, as you can see in the background. I used one of my favorite bathtub and shower combos, the one from Parenthood and this elephant swatch. It's just the cutest thing. We're continuing with some Dream Home Decorator counters in here in the kitchen, but this time I combined it with the Growing Together stove and the Parenthood fridge. I barely fit in a small dining table, and above it I thought it would be a cute and realistic idea to hang some drawings that maybe the mom received at work from the kids. The dining chairs bring in that soft yellow color I mentioned earlier. And I can't resist this cozy looking couch here in a soft green color with the pillows and blanket. It just gives off a vibe that a family lives here, so very youthful and cute. And also the detail with a few scattered clothes here and there, and maybe some of the infants' things lying on the floor here also just gives off a lively feeling. Maybe the mom's always on the run, she'll do the cleaning when the energetic kid is sleeping. For the TV stand, I used this end table from Spa Day. I love that it has this open space in the middle, so it works perfectly as a shelf. So I raised up some stacks of books to put there, some board games, and the rug on the floor here, also this bright yellow color. Moving on to the mom's bedroom, we have a double bed positioned against the wall to fit in a dresser. I just cluttered this one up with some flowers, perhaps some work documents or books, hairstyling products, and glasses, all the cute things. A switch at the bed I had previously placed for a more lighter colored one, also some more yellow. The infant's bedroom is rather simple, I'd say. I use my favorite wallpaper here from Parenthood in this cloud swatch. So we do have more of a blue color theme in here along with the space themed rug. So I believe I managed to get all the necessary things for an infant in here. You know, the crib, changing table, high chair, and some toys. There's this ski wall decoration from Snowy Escape that I rarely use, so I just had to include it here. It's looking so cute with all the winter jackets and cozy accessories hanging on the knobs there. And also thinking back to the For Rent trailer, it also seems like we'll be getting some new activities for the kids actually. I'm always happy about more activities, so in the new pack we'll be able to play hopscotch and also play with marbles. I've got to say I don't think I've ever played the actual marbles game with the circle and all, but I did have some nice shiny marbles as a kid, and I did play a lot of hopscotch as a child. That's very nostalgic actually, and I'm glad the kids will be able to play these two activities in the new pack, and maybe they will bond faster with other kids through these activities as well. We will have to see. We're on to the second last apartment, and this one is for a very creative and bubbly sim. My idea for them was that they're an artist or painter of some sorts, like maybe a drawer for comic books or just doing freelance work as a drawer. I think that was a cool idea at least. And I was originally going to go full out on pinks and bright colors for this one too, but I toned it down a notch. We've still got the pink creamy kitchen, we got some beige wood paneling on the walls, but otherwise very white and plain walls. And certainly a big contrast to the dark wooden flooring here. I made another custom TV unit in this apartment where I used the curved bookshelves from growing together on each end, and then positioned the Spa Day end table in the middle here. It fit perfectly on that wall, and I do put the customizable couch from Dream Home Decorator in here as well. I always forget about them, but they're pretty handy. And talking about things I always forget about, there's this amazing floral rug I put in the living room here. It's devastating that this swatch is hidden behind a not so unique swatch. And I do believe it's from high school years, and it's certainly a gem. Once again in the kitchen, I dare myself to put in the kitchen island, and lo and behold, when I was playtesting, there was no problem for the Sims to move around at all, which just makes my builder heart so happy. The Sims can be rather flexible when they want to. The bedroom gets this cutesy look about it, lots of posters on the walls, probably some of the Sims' own art hanging up there. We have the easel in here, of course, along with a working desk with all the digital drawing tools, some functional, like the sketch pad, and some just for decor. The last apartment stands out a bit, I'd say, because it's a bit more on the dirtier side, and I just really like the idea of one of the tenants just not being that tidy. Perhaps they've got the slob trait, so you'll find leftover pizza boxes and takeaway boxes and just trash in general here and there. It's just not a well-kept apartment in comparison to the others, and the reason for it, well, who knows? Because this is supposed to be a modern renovated apartment building, so yeah, who knows what the Sim here has been up to. But for this kitchen, I even decided to go for a mini fridge. It's got some stickers on it, and I even found this perfect dining table from Snowy Escape with also lots of stickers. It's such a fun detail, so this sim is very much into music, playing it, writing it, and also playing games. So I added a keyboard in the bedroom and also the gaming console by the TV in the living room. And I do think they'd probably be a very noisy neighbor for sure, and their fellow tenants would not be very fond of this music-loving person. Also in the new pack, it also looks like there will be the possibility of mold growing in your apartment if not taken care of. It's such a yucky, gross detail to be honest, but certainly a realistic one. And I do think there's going to be a new death linked to the mold, judging by the fungus infected sim in the trailer. It just gave me major Last of Us vibes. But I do wonder how the mold will be able to grow in someone's apartments. And will it affect the rent for that apartment? I just wonder how rent will work in general for the different units. Will it tell us automatically how much rent will be, or do we have the option to set the rent ourselves? I mean, the latter seems more realistic. But another questionable thing that we all saw in the trailer was the possibility of breaking and entering into someone's apartment. Does this mean the return of burglars, or is this like an active career thing that we can play out ourselves? Honestly, I have so many questions, and thinking about all the possibilities just makes me more intrigued and curious to know more about this pack. So what are you the most excited about coming in the new For Rent expansion pack from what you've seen and heard so far? Also, which one of these apartments that I've made here today is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a follow for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we built this apartment building in Mount Komorebi, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye!